the class that I give, please come in closer. The class that I give is a little different perhaps from some of you. Has anybody here had a class at Prix? No? Okay, then we need to remember. All that stuff that was said, that was the past. I've been retired for 3 years. I live in Seattle. And what I do is much, much more like an experiential workshop than an actual class. I don't need to be the only expert in the room. I want you to be experts about yourself and become very, very acquainted with the way that your body works, your mind works, how you speak with yourself, how you work with your body and things, so that you show up in the way you were brought into this world to become. And I can't know that. And I can't tell you how. I can tell you different ways to approach it or different ways of working with your body. And I have certain vantage points that I like using, obviously, in words that you can be showered with them. But basically, for me, your curiosity, your open heart, and your open mind eat anything. Legs, feet, turns, anything. Because that's going to hold you through your life. And we want humans who dance. All right? So that, if we understand that, then we don't have a room full of how is it working, more like, what's interesting about this? What can I find out that I might want to try on later? What would I like to leave behind and move on towards? So I can't, the other thing is that takes me off the hook completely. I don't have to take responsibility for anything other than offering what I have found to be interesting. And then maybe for you find something else. And then you discover something about yourself. And I find it's an incredible way to stay open to things that could happen instead of things that have to. So that's me personally, because I have to go home with myself. All right? That is not the way necessarily that I was trained or the way that it even works in the world, but it works. Each person needs to find their own personal way in the world. So I'll share with you what I have to share with you. You take it, don't take it. It's not personal, okay? I work a lot with alignment and how you find your center, but also a lot with taking risks and trying things out, and they don't all have to work. All right? So what I come from in terms of balancing, that was in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I retired in 93. I haven't danced in 30 years. Don't look at this. I'm not dancing for you. I'm teaching you or something. All right? So we're going to play around together. The first thing we're going to do is find what we need for turnout, which is called the backs of the legs. There's lots of ways of talking about it. And we're going to work on that so that the turnout is supported through the tops of the legs and the pelvic floor, and we're connected and coordinated. And everybody, I'm sure, has different training and different focus. So just meet the material where you need it. All right? Great. Spread out around the room. And you said Elmer? Thank you, Elmer. Can you just follow me as I go blah, blah, blah? All right. All right. So, go into parallel for yourself and just go, this is an experiment. Go releve up and down a few times and notice what your muscles feel like, what your alignment feels like, where you feel your weight distributed on your feet. Are your shoulders a little bit back behind your legs so they come a little more aligned? Beautiful. Good. Now come down. Now I'm going to ask you to imagine put your right hand on the air and unscrew a jar to the right. Unscrew the cap. Same with the left. Now you're going to do that at the tops of your legs. Move your muscles around the bones and pull the sit bones together and then let it go back. Pull them It's not anything being used yet. And then you're using something called ground reaction force physics. You need to use the weight of your body down into the ground to activate the musculature. And what you do is you pull the outer edge of your thighs towards the sit bone. It's the greater trochanter here, towards the sit bone. But don't let it pull your bones and your feet off. So you keep your weight on the tripod of your foot. Big toe, small toe to heel, and then pull together active. Big toe, small toe, heel, pull together active. Now releve active and see what that feels like. You can play music there. Releve active, keep active, and roll down. And pull together again active, unify that, and roll down. And active, and roll down. Good. And active, and now, releve again without an active and tell me what, see if you can feel the difference. Stand on your feet because you're lucky they're there, and come down. And again, up and down. Does anybody notice a tone change? Anything different between active releve and passive releve? Anyone? Anybody can you do this? Have you ever been in a class before? Have you ever answered anyone before? Yes.
It feels easier to balance when I am using the correct muscles.
Great.
Versus when I don't.
Good. Okay, that's, I mean, you don't have to say yes. If it doesn't work as yes, then it's pointless. You don't say yes to me because I asked to be fabulous. You say yes because you understood something. So, but it needs to be in yourself, right? So that feeling of pulling together and composing yourself, almost, almost like bringing out a washcloth, even, is a great tool for you for all of your turnout. Okay. So now we're going to go to first. We're going to go first position, demi-plie up, and open, and then curve under. And I learned this from a French friend of mine. I love this word because it's our position. Arrondi, around and out, and a grand plie. Okay? So we go pulse, pulse, pull together active, arrondi, and grand plie, 2, and then tendus second. Demi up, and arms not out fully to the side, where it comes forward, turn over, and then a slight release, a slight circling of the elbow and a wide wingspan and a grand plie. All right, here we go. First position, please. And sous and plie and straighten. Let's go demi-plie and open and demi-plie and open and under curve and a grand plie and two. And then, like you just discovered gold under that foot and first. Dégagez ça. Pivot devant. Derrière. Pivot front. Reverence. Use the elbows, the breath. Your forehead bows towards, forward and sous. Come down. And then demi-plie and open. Demi-plie and open and grand plie. Okay? If the grand plie is an uncertain factor and you kind of go like this, don't do it. Do it small and give yourself a feeling of where your edges are and where your control is. I'm going to say this right now. This is not a competition. This is a class. I'm not even judging here. Okay, I judge regionally. I'm not judging here, so you don't have to worry. Okay, here we go. And sideways, laterally, okay? When we go dégagé here, more like an underneath invitation and bring the inside of the heel forward. There you go, and then the long jump. And then when you pivot, keep those thighs crossed to the top. Much better, much better. Let's do that one more time. Thank you. And let's go on. Can you play stop time over. One. Yeah. Hope so. Yeah, here we go. And out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In. 1, 2, 3, stay. Oxygen. Yeah. Blood, oxygen, remember? Okay, good. Let's play with an adage or a slow 6/8. We're going to go bouquet, 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 bouquet down, and breathe up slowly. First through the legs, the depth, and then you roll to the lower spine, the mid spine, underneath the scapula, and the head is last. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. So really the ground pushing you back in towards the hip. That is 1 knee. Hugging the legs, okay? And open. Then you're going to go side forward, wrong, close, side forward, wrong, close, side forward. Those are pointed on you, run, close, and glissade back, and glissade forward. Then the right leg, and 2, and 3 is when your head starts to bow. It's like a wave. Came over and you went down, not light, and up, and 2 and 3. Going in gradations. Trickle up theory, okay? And then you have side forward, run, close, side forward, run, close, side forward, run, close. Glissade derrière, but on a balance move, not landing anything. On a balance move. And glissade devant. Okay. Can we hear something else, please? papier quadrant instead of McDonald's, where you could start down in the ground, almost to where you felt like you were waving into it. So you have an impulse. All right, you need to find that for you. I'm not going to say do this, do this. I can. See if I have 10 hours to teach you how to do it, but I don't. So I would suggest that you play with what gravity feels like, almost like you're going to sway. You're going to find that moment in the sway to where this might get it. You might have that impulse to do it. All right. Then the other thing here is the closing of the leg is not the closing of the leg. It's the reaching away, the reaching up, the pressing down, and the spiraling in opposition. It's like you're making more, resisting, and pulling it towards you, magnetizing yourself, like phenomenal magnets to close. Yes. The other thing is, again, just, okay, can you tell the difference? Put a leg derriere. Let's say you finish your arm jump. Put your leg behind, and just be really sloppy and mindless. Close the leg because you can. Now change that. Put your same leg derriere. Feel the ground up through your standing side, all the way to your belly button and into the back of the room. Reach your back leg away even more. And resist pulling it in, but feel like your standing leg is a mighty magnet. Ooh, that's it. That's the basic. You know, if you use that for a seesaw, and that changes things, if you use it for landing your jumps, it changes everything. Okay? All right. So take my word for it, my head. Let's play with passe, plié, coupé. Passe, plié, coupé. Strike in, out, and fit. Passe, coupé. Passe, coupé. Strike, resist, out, fit. Passe, coupé. So this is the opposite of what you usually do. You go up. You're going to go passe, coupé. Passe, coupé. Strike, pull, strike. Now the strike I'm asking for is ballet machine. Does anybody know about this? You strike the floor with the ball of the foot and you make a sound. If you have point shoes on, you should have sound like doors on. Strike, and this is very handy, actually, because if you hit the floor, you have a point of reference and you know you're shaking your legs. If you're going out in the air, it can be kind of random and like a good hair day or not. But if you have to strike the floor, then you have to locate yourself and decide on the timing. So, strike and da-dee, da-ya-da-da-dee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strike, cinquième. 1, da-ba-dee. Da-da-da-dee. Strike, 2, 3, in, out, 2, in. Ready? Good. And arms and